Hey guys! So I was supposed to be filming Grooming Bojack today, and I didn't. I filmed Grooming Bodhi instead. So this is kind of your first introduction to Bodhi on this channel. So I'll just go through like what I'm doing first of all, and then I'll tell you a little bit more about him. So I'm starting off with my Haas curry comb. So I'm just going to curry all over the body in circular motions, just to kind of bring that dirt to the surface and also try and get some of those loose hairs out. And then coming in with the Sleek Ease, or is it the Sleek Easy? I'm not sure. The pronunciation of all his grooming kit is just actually quite difficult for me. So this is just, it's like a shedding blade. So it's just pulling out some of that baby fluff, of which he still has a lot of, bless him. So I'm just going to use this all over his body, just to try and get some of that floof out. And then next we're going to move on to the Haas Schimmel. This is the coconut fibre brush that comes in the whites and greys and coloured pack. I really like this one. It seems like when I first got it I went, God, that feels like really rough, but he actually really likes it. It's quite a stiff bristled brush, but you can really feel it getting into that coat and pulling out that grime, and it's really good for cleaning up white patches too, so it does get a lot of dirt out. In a minute I'm going to push it a little too far and he's going to show me quite quickly that he's unhappy with where I'm touching him. So you will notice as I groom him I always keep kind of away from him as much as I can. I don't get as close to him as I would while grooming Bojack, just in case something happens that makes him react quite quickly, like about now. Oh, okay, okay. No, I hear you. But you don't kick at me to get me away. Good boy. I heard you, I'm sorry. So obviously I touched a little lower than he was happy for me to do, so that's why I work a little further away from him so that I can jump out the way quite quickly. But as you saw, I tried to keep my hand in contact with him because he needs to learn that that is not how you get me to release pressure. So when he stands still and calmly, I will then back off and leave the pressure. But again, here he's walking around, so I stop grooming but I keep contact with him, and then when he stands still I take my hand away, take the pressure off, and I step back for a few seconds just to say, you know, well done, this is your reward, pressure release. But if you're going to rear, which he did do when I first got him, which touch wood he hasn't done for a few weeks now, but rearing, kicking, biting, things like that, that will not send me away. I will go away when you stand and I'll calm. So next is the Haas Lipizzaner that I'm using. So this is the second brush, and Bojack has one of these as well in his kit. So this is softer than the coconut bristle, and I'm just going to use this all over his body. This is one I got a little lower with the legs, and I also did a few swipes on his belly with, just to start getting him used to the feeling and sensation of those areas being touched a little more. And then next is the Haas Coat Gloss, which again is one Bojack has too. He really liked the smell of this one. This is a brush that hasn't touched him yet, so the other two have touched him before, but this one hasn't. So I really gave him time to have a good sniff to make sure he was happy. And then I'm just going to brush him all over like I have with the other brushes. Again, I'm avoiding those sensitive areas, just doing the odd swipe over, so I'm not pushing him too far, I'm not asking for too much. You'll also notice that I do avoid his neck a bit because he's still a bit funny about his neck being touched. But this bit, my 14-month-old yearling that's barely handled, and I can spritz all over with Magic Sheen. I mean, he takes my breath away. So the Haas Diva, you don't need to use Show Sheen with it. It will bring out a beautiful shine. The reason I use a lot of Show Sheen on my horses, Magic Sheen, I just call it Show Sheen as a generic name, is because they are field kept. They're out 24/7. So this just helps keep them that little bit cleaner. You know, it makes them a bit like Teflon ponies. And I'm also using this opportunity to give a little spritz on his legs. I'm not brushing his feathers through yet, but just getting a bit of, you know, Magic Sheen in so that they'll be easy, and all over his mane. And there, my just little exasperated sigh. I just, you know, people have grown horses, 10-year-olds, that are funny with sprays and stuff. So to have such a young horse just take it all in his stride, it just gets me so excited for the future, that he is just so confident and so happy with so many different things, that I'm just really proud of him and how he's adapting toward this. So next I brushed out his mane. Bojack came to say hi. So I've been show sheening and brushing this out. The neck is a bit of a fidgety area, but the experience he has with the neck is obviously 2 days after I got him, the vet came out, gave first vaccinations and tried to microchip, but he was having none of it. So that is a part of why he is a bit of a fidget with his neck. And I do give him little breaks and I don't try and do it all in once, but I am insisting on every day. I do touch it, but I don't want to push it too far. Next, I laid his mane. So I haven't shared the first plait being done. Plaiting was fine. As you can see, I'm trying to keep that distance just in case. I don't want to crowd him, and if he wants to react, you know, there's space to do it. And I'm only doing like little half plaits down. Now, the thing he didn't like was the sound of the elastic band. You went to put the elastic band on, and that was when he went, oh. So for the first one, it was a bit of a dramatic reaction, which is why, as you can see, that I just let go and was like, no, you chill, and then we'll do another one. So yeah, he just really wasn't sure about that the pingy sound near him of the plaiting band, but he did really well and we got the whole mane plaited down. I did very, very loose plaits. I didn't want any tension in there. I want these to be comfortable. I just want to try and encourage his mane to stay one side. I'm also aware the vet will be out again in 2 weeks and they will need access to his neck for doing his microchip and his second vaccination. So if he gets used to having it plaited over now, it will make it easier for me to get it out of the way for the vet. Next up, we have his tail. Now, I've spritzed this with Magic Sheen, and I'm going to really wang on about Magic Sheen now because I know I say it a lot, but I was an ex-competition groom. I was an ex-groom, so I've used a lot of different products on horses over the years. And I have to say that Shapley's Magic Sheen is honestly the best. Okay, so the generic name is really like a detangler. I just call them show sheens because it's an all-round for me. Like I use it all over the body, legs, you know, for feathers, manes, tails, everything. This literally had a spritz through. I didn't soak the tail or anything like that. As you can see, he's got like the kind of like, I call them wind dreads because it's like as they've kind of swirled. They're not dready dreads, but they're really kind of in there. But I'm really taking my time to separate all that tail up, really brush it through. This took in total, this horse has never had his tail brushed out. It took 5 minutes to brush this tail out. I mean, oh my God, I can take 5 minutes on Bojack's when it's been windy and I haven't brushed it for a few days. So the fact that with just a spritz of show sheen, I could brush out this tail so easily. Oh, I mean, I love show sheen before. Oh, Magic Sheen, sorry. I loved Magic Sheen before, but this is just fantastic. And I love the fact that, you know, I think this to me is like the highest risk in my head. I always think tails is the highest risk because it's, you know, I keep half an eye on Bodhi, but it would be very easy for him to react at this point with me right behind him. You're in the danger zone. Sorry, getting all Kenny Loggins there. But it is, and he's just so chilled and he's so happy having his tail brushed out. I look like I'm really hammering away at it, but I am being quite delicate. And I was just so impressed with how easy it was to brush out this tail. Yeah, so I'm going to take a little breath now. So now I'll just like tell you a little bit more about Bodhi because I think this is the first time he's appearing on my channel. So Bodhi came into my life about 4 weeks ago now. So I met him exactly 4 weeks ago today on a Wednesday and he moved in on the Friday. It's all Sarah's fault who I rent the land from, and she just said, when are you getting another horse? And then I messaged my farrier to ask if he knew of anyone, and there was Bodhi. So yeah, so we met and I fell in love and he moved in, and he just has about him, he has a very similar disposition to Bojack. He is very calm, he's very intelligent, he's very bold, he's very interested in everything, but he's not too pushy, he's not too shovey. There was just something very special about him. He's quite independent as well. So before Bojack went lame, I was able to hack out, go to clinics, things like that. And Bodhi just settled so beautifully when he was left alone for a few hours in the field, which to me is really, really important because the idea of having horses getting too clingy with each other, it just wouldn't suit because I want to be able to take them out separately and stuff. So yeah, so he came to me, and I say he's an unhandled yearling. So he was born in May last year, and in that time, you know, he's had a halter put on, he's had a wormer, he has had his feet trimmed, obviously by my farrier, but that's about it. So, you know, he's had a halter on but not halter broken, and all of this, like, this will have been the first time his tail's brushed through. I started at 7 minutes and it's now 10 minutes in. So yeah, that took 3 minutes really, 3 to 5 minutes to brush through that tail. And yeah, I just get quite overwhelmed with how quickly this boy is taking everything in his stride. You know, him and Bojack do get on very well. I mean, they're going to have little tiffs now and then, but they have just settled and they get on so well. And this little man is stealing my heart a little more every day. And this tail, at first I thought it was all sun bleaching, but it's not. His tail actually grows in like zebra stripes. So he has like the white bits, and as you can see there, that was all that came out. So it sounds like I'm really ripping at the tail, but as you can see, because of the show sheen, it has just sloughed through, like that comb has gone through so easily and just left this gorgeous beautiful tail, and it hasn't taken out any because that show sheen has just, that magic sheen. Look at it. I'm just obsessed with this tail now, so obsessed. Are we ready for the slow-mos? I'm going to be quiet and let you just enjoy the slow-mos. You Mama's beauty. Yeah? Mama is so lucky with her boys. She has got such lovely boys. Oh, look at you, little man. In the sun. Look at you. You're so beautiful. Hello. You're showing off. Do you feel like a big boy now? So I got my plaits in. I got my gorgeous tail. My boys, you two make my heart sing. You really do. You're still the favourite. Oh, my two boys. Both had a lovely groom with your Haas brushes. Yes, you have. And you're both shining with Shapleys. Bojack is massively jealous that you are allowed out and he is still in his pen of shame. I love that you come to say hello to me. You just make my heart sing. Yes, you do. Gorgeous boy. Oh, darling. Is it a life of tragedy and pony woe? Well, next time you think I'm going to twat about in the field and break bones, don't do it. Hi, those fucking flies. I love you. I love you. So I hope you've enjoyed my little grooming video. If you'd like to see more and follow Bodhi's progress and a little more of Bojack, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe and tune in for more. You know, I could just go on about how impressed I am with this little boy all day long. I hope you've enjoyed watching his first groom. I know we've still got to work on a few bits, but he's coming along beautifully. Thanks for tuning in and I'll see you again soon. Bye!